Welcome to Pure Mind Magic, the show to evolve your mind. Our mind is the most powerful thing we have, but no one teaches us how to use it. When we find out how, we're ready to create magic in life and in business. Learn real mindset secrets from brilliant minds around the world to change your mindset and income level forever. With every decision you make, you create your future. What is your next move? Now, welcome your host, international magician, speaker, and podcast performance consultant, Jennifer S. Royal.
This is Jennifer, and welcome to episode 110 of the Pure Mind Magic podcast and the midweek motivation. If you're new to this show, please subscribe, and with that you won't miss any of the new upcoming episodes with a lot of great knowledge for you. I always do my best to come up with creative titles, catchy titles that get you interested, and hopefully I reach this aim today with my topic about how to make money flying business class. I think this whole thing around business class and first class when flying, traveling, whether it's for business or for personal reasons, is still exciting, and it has this special feeling to it. And definitely there is a reason why they make you go through the business class before you hit economy class, in case you fly economy class. And I was telling you that this week I'm flying to my best friend to the Canarian Islands. And I booked a flight for some time ago, and this is typical, this holiday destination, so they don't really have this business class, and I didn't see it while booking, and I just did this in the middle of the night, because here an extra tip for you. I learned that when you book flights and hotels in the middle of the night, prices are lower than when you do it through daytime. And also when you are doing like your research to look for hotels, and then your browser will captivate all your actions. And next time when you visit the site, it will be more expensive. And it's really true. I made the test this time and just did this. And I did it in the middle of the night. And the day after, I was just looking again, and actually all the prices have risen about $500 just overnight. The same hotel, same time frame, everything. And then I used this trick, what is kind of a clever hack, and just opened a new browser. I'm not using it all. And then all the prices were about $500 down. So quite a difference, I think, and a cool trick. So if you like and you're planning already your next holidays, keep that in mind. Do the best to book it in the middle of the night concerning flights. And then when you are researching, either book it directly, or when you visit the page the second time, use another browser for it. So these first two hacks before. Now let's go back to business class. Like 3 days ago, I got this message that I can upgrade my flight, and that they do have this kind of business class, this comfort premium class in the front of the plane. And it was really a cool offer, so I decided I'm gonna do that. And I also tell you the reasons why I did it and why I think it can be really great, productive, and lucrative to fly actually business class. And I mean, when you are a frequent traveler and you are collecting miles and miles, and I know some people have more than 1 million miles, I think that's quite a cool feeling, then definitely that makes it much easier to get access to business class and first class, and can still save you money. Because when you don't know to fly, like in my case, from Munich to LA in first class, this would be about $9,000. So could be a car in some circumstances, but when you are clever and, like, as I said, collecting all your miles, it is achievable. And there are also a lot of YouTube videos on people who have different strategies to accomplish that. And I think it's just a nice experience. And I also, when I went to Singapore in the A380, the Airbus, they do have this like stars on the sky or in the ceiling in the plane, and the whole second level is all first and business class. So you really have room. And as in many cities, you pay for room. So let's go to the behind the scenes, why flying business class. So first thing is that it's an appreciation for yourself. And I'm sure you heard this concept that everything is energy and it depends on how you treat yourself. And when you are feeling well and good, it's easier for you to support and help other people. So for sure, you fly with another feeling because you know you have all this priority check-in and you are first in the plane, you have there all your food, and most important, you have this space. And also, it's quiet because normally there are not that many children and babies in the business class. And also, you know, you are sitting in front of the engines. So it's really much quieter to be there. Keep that in mind. This will also influence your self-talk, like what you are saying to yourself on in your inner dialogue when you make the decision for yourself, just for yourself, to fly business class and have all the nice things that go with it. And for a long time, and I actually still perform that, and I'm sure you have seen that, is the newspaper illusion, where a newspaper gets torn in a lot of pieces and then in a second it is back together in one solid piece. And for a long time, I was telling the story while I was doing that when you fly economy, you don't have that much space to read the newspaper back there in the plane. And especially when you hit the middle seat in front of two people, then everything is so tiny and it's really tough to get to read the newspapers. But they do have all the newspapers there in form of a buffet when you go into the plane. So that was my story until my audience really changed to like high achievers, top managers, Rotary clubs, and really important people that make important decisions. And I realized for myself that doesn't work out because no one of them would ever fly economy class. So this is a stupid story here and I can't bring it. I can't tell it. Makes no sense. And from that moment on, I really shifted and never told the story in that way again. So sometimes I made a small adjustment that I said, when you fly from Munich to like the Netherlands, Den Haag, then they just do have a small plane. There is no business class, there is no first class, and they just have one row with one seats in a row and one row with two seats next to each other. So there is no upgrade or anything, and it's just a short flight. I think it's an hour or so. And so this was kind of working, but didn't feel right with this kind of audience. So definitely another environment. So I changed the story up from that point and changed it to what is actually true, that my father is reading the newspaper every morning since I can remember, since I was a child and started out doing magic at the age 4 or more 7 then with my magic kit. And I found it always boring when I was a child and he was doing this because I couldn't read it and understand it and just saw him reading the newspaper. And I still have this picture in my mind every time when I'm on stage. So I changed it to what he's actually doing because he still does that. So he's reading the newspaper. Also, he enjoys it, but he's doing it for me. And when he comes across an article that makes sense for me, that has to do with magic or a mindset or how we can evolve the brain, do a better performance, or even with podcasting, he tears that out and puts it when I'm at home on my door. Or he just collects everything, and when I get back into my hometown, then I have them all on my desk there. So that's really nice of him, and I'm happy that he does that. And sometimes I come across really interesting things, and it's pretty cool for me because I don't have to go through the whole newspaper. So he will come up with everything that relates to me and to my work and my business. So perfect like that. And thanks for doing that. And this is now the story for this newspaper illusion, because I'm telling the audience that my father is doing this and collecting all the interesting articles for me in small pieces. And then in the end, I say it makes even more sense to put them all together and have one solid piece, and the newspaper is whole again. So that's it here. And of course, this is also saying that it depends on who you surround yourself with, and you will, that kind of adapt, because we humans adapt to our environment and to the people we spend time with. I'm sure you know that. Just wanted to remind you here, because you also know that we learn through repetition. So let's look about on the creative side of flying in general, and here in my case, flying in the front of the plane in business class. So because you have more space, you can work there easier. So you have the seat in the middle. This is where you can lay your documents, whatever you're working on, your notebook. And this is why I came up with the title, How to Make Money Flying Business Class. So when you are in a small economy class, there's almost no chance to do that, because it's so loud, there's so much movement, and you can't put your things anywhere. It's just impossible. But I think actually that doing this work, being creative, being productive in this time while you are flying is just perfect, because you are free from any distractions. So no one can call you up there, and most planes still don't have an internet connection. So you are just down with your pen and paper and your notebook and everything you have downloaded up front, and there are no distractions. So I think this is perfect for really doing deep work, having this crystal clear focus, thinking things through, working on your vision, on your strategy, on everything that matters most, while you have this time just for yourself. And when you are flying for yourself, or for a business purpose, or even personal purpose, then you can take all this advantage of that. And you can order something anytime you like there in the business class. So this is where I see really the big advantage. And I also already prepared everything I want to work on when I'm on the plane. And this is actually, I know that I definitely have to come up with the content for my new website, the jennifersroyal.com website, because it still says coming soon. And it's so tough in the all-day life to find this time to really sit down and think it and create it and produce it. So I set the aim for myself to do that while I'm up in the air. And very often I found that when you are traveling by plane, it's like I get a lot of inspirations during that. So I also came up with my new name, Above the Clouds. It's like having all this creative insights and this light bulbs above your head. And maybe it is, so this is just my theory, that you are like closer to the sky or the universe or whatever you would like to call it. So there are no barriers. So maybe because the distance is shorter, just my story, that things can hit you easier in this inspirational way. And also, when you have all these ideas, you can take the time to script them out, think them through, and then after you are landing, you can outsource all the tasks that go with that. So I created an episode about how to get 100 hours done of work done in 10 hours. You can look back on that. I think it's episode 108, so pretty new. So it's explained there on a deeper level on how to do that outsourcing and automation process to free more of your time. And then also something to notice about flying actually in business class and not economy class is the potential of networking. And networking is really immense. This is exactly why I created a whole course on networking and how to do it. Because everything you get and you have and you want always comes from other people. So it's not that it just falls off the sky. Talking about flying here. There are other people involved, whether it's money or it's resources or it's information or knowledge in general or connections or deals or whatever. So there are always other people involved. So the better you are in networking, the faster you can hit your target. And it's much easier. It can save you a ton of time, energy, and also money because you don't have to find out everything yourself. And this is the basis for my course I created on networking, how to do it, all the hacks, and also, of course, how you can use podcasting to grow your network. But there's also a section in my course on how to monetize the whole network you have built and how to do it that it feels for everybody good and you have this win-win situation. And I've spent a lot of time and put a lot of work into this course to make it appealing, to make it look nice. This is why I made a presentation that is black and gold. And there are all the links in the course on where to find these great people. So if you like, you can check it out. And for all my listeners, I have a 90% discount for the course. So it's in the show notes. I'm already getting a great feedback to the course. It's 3 hours. It's completely online. So you can watch it from anywhere in the world in your own time frame, whenever you like. So, but I'm definitely happy when you support me and get one of my courses. So check that out. And networking on the plane, of course, makes sense in the business class as well, because it's a certain type of people, business people that fly business class. And it's also a certain type of people that do have the appreciation for themselves to do it. So you will meet different people in business class than in economy class, for sure. And I remember when attending a Dr. Joe Dispenza seminar, he was telling a lot of stories of amazing people he just met on the plane because he's like traveling all the time. And it is amazing all the business deals and special corporations that came up for him just on the plane because, of course, they were talking to each other and then one thing leads to another. And I remember that he was telling a story that there was a woman and she was actually reading his book and she turned around and couldn't believe that he was sitting there in person. So very funny story. And it's really like everything can happen above the clouds, right? So you can create some magic moments and even magic business joint ventures there. Keep that in mind when you make your decision and book your next flight, that you also have this component of networking flying there. So I think this sums it up and you get the idea of why I think you can make money flying business class, because definitely when you meet your future business partner in business class, there will be a lot of money involved. And I know many people that, meet their business partner and they work for years and years to come together. So because it just fits, and it's like when you're on the right frequency, it will hit you. But you also know you have to take some inspired actions to show that you are ready, and then you can receive and meet the right people and also have the right eurekas above there. So hope that helps you. And in the next midweek motivation, I will give you another secret on how water can very much increase your creativity. I just found that in a really old book I came across, and I just thought, wow, that's amazing. And I think not many people are aware of that. And this is a special podcast, so you will learn a lot of secrets, like real life secrets that can take you even further than a card trick in a magic show. So stay tuned. And this Friday, as always, there will be the interview Friday. And I have a guest from New York. So we just recorded the interview and he worked on Wall Street. And packed everything he learned to make the transition into trading, day trading and coaching people on trading. And it was an amazing interview. So I learned that you can, with just $1,000, get started in trading and turn them into a couple of $1,000s. So I think also a magical effect. So make sure to tune in this Friday to listen to this interview and learn about that, how to multiply your money with this strategy. That's it for today. I wish you a magical time, and until Friday, create some magic.